So with all this talk about folks graduating from marriage and folks trying to make divorce chic, you might be thinking to yourself, what is it really like out there? Is it really greener on the other side? Well, that's today's lesson. What are the streets really like? It's gonna be cold. You're gonna deal with it. Let's put it in. Now hold up. Before we get into these details about what's about to happen to you in these streets, take a moment to make sure you subscribe to the channel so the algorithm knows what's up, so that YouTube, all your friends, all your people, everybody knows that you like these videos around here. Now, we are a new channel and we are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So do what you do, subscribe, throw thumbs. Now, details. Bang, bang. So in case you're thinking, wait, haven't I seen this title before? This is the male edition. If you've heard that beginning part, you probably watched the woman edition. This is for the men. So this, men, is what's awaiting you if you are back into these streets. Doesn't matter how you got here. Doesn't matter if you got left or you left somebody else. This is what's about to happen. Now, I'm going to give you the quick moral of the story up front. Don't leave your relationship. If you're in a good one, if you're in any one, stay where you at. You don't need to be around here. No. But if you happen to find yourself back in these streets, even if you wanted to not have that happen, I'm about to let you know what's about to happen next. Now, I'm going to tell you the cold perspective from dogs, players, pimps, so that you understand your competition and what's going on out here. Now, when I say pimps, I mean a pimp like Snoop Dogg, not a pimp like Slickback. So let's not get it twisted. Some of y'all weird, you need to know that. So there's going to be many different things that can happen to you back in these streets, alright? But we're not going to deal with everything. We ain't got time for that. You ain't got time for that. You have low attention span. So we're only going to deal with 1, 2, 3. Uno, dos, tres. Solamente tres, way. So just 3, alright? There's a lot of different things that can happen to you, but we're going to focus on these main 3. Quick exception. Some of this won't apply to you if you happen to be him. Now, if you haven't been in these streets, you're an older generation, you don't know what I mean by him. I'm not talking about a specific dude. I mean you, that dude. You, that mother. You, that guy. Which, just telling you right now, you're most likely not. You're not a beautiful, unique snowflake. Don't think of it like how women think of it. Women like to think that there are exceptions to every rule. You, however, you're a man. I ain't got to coddle you. I can tell you straight up, no, it ain't you. You ain't him. All of this is about to apply to you. You average, you regular, and that's fine. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you, just in case your head was a little big and you're like, oh yeah, I'm him. Because that's like prevalent right now. So many of you cats are running around thinking that you are extraordinary when you're not. It's probably why you got left, or you were dumb enough to leave thinking that these streets was just grass is greener everywhere. So, no. This will most likely apply to you. And unlike the women, it's not going to be like, oh, the first 2 years of you being out here. Nah, it's going to be your whole time. Your whole time being in these streets is going to be like this. So, prepare yourselves. So we're going to be going in reverse order because why not? It's fun. So we're going to start off with number 3. You got no looks, you're too ugly. You above 6 feet tall? You got 6-pack abs? When was the last time your ass was at the gym? Gentlemen, your competition is NBA stars, football players, people who play soccer internationally, football all over the world, cats who lift weights and run for a living, okay? And just in case you're like, what are you talking about? I live in a small town. The internet has changed the game. You don't know what these streets is like? A random woman in the middle of nowhere has access to dudes from Dubai. Now, I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. I'm from a small town. I've already seen, when I go back and visit family members, how the streets have changed there, let alone here in LA, where these cats are just plentiful. I've been at random everyday jobs years ago where the plain Jane girl was dating a Laker. It happens. And by the way, when I say dating, he's just hitting it. She don't know that. She's thinking she's somebody. Nah. But that's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta worry about that. That's what these streets is like. The competition is ridiculous. You are competing with the best of the mother best. You don't have a chance. And because of this access, whether the access is actual or the access is just the pictures of these dudes who are sending messages, having phone conversations with the women who are out here. And by the way, it does not matter the age. If the women are older, they got dudes who are 18, 19, 20 in their inbox. Doesn't really matter. They could be 50. They could be 60. You already know you a man. Does it matter to you how old she is if she look good and all you trying to do is hit? Nah, you don't give a flow. You trying to be up in there. So what makes you think some 20-year-old dude who's like, yeah, I'm going to get me an older one. Really? Is that going to stop him? No. If anything, she's like, oh my gosh, this is so new and different. Like you, homie. So you best be on your A game. But you're not. That's not you. You ain't him. So, number 2, you got no success. You're too broke. Do you make 6 figures or above? Now, if you've heard anything about these streets on the internet, you already know this, or you should. Now, if you're thinking that that's not a real thing, or what have you, I'm going to tell you from a professional standpoint, I've had and still have clients who are in the millionaire club, who make 6 figures, like 100,000 or whatever, and then folks who are just average guys. Cats who are making decent salaries, like $75,000, $80,000, $85,000. Now, that might sound a lot, and it's not a small amount of money, but it's not a large, crazy amount of money, especially here in LA, depending on where you live. But because, again, women of today have access to everybody. And even if they don't have actual access, you're not competing with the physical dudes in your space only. You're competing with the idea of what she could get. Do not forget that. Her perception of what's out there has changed, has enhanced, because she sees other women on the internet getting flued out to crazy areas, getting all kinds of different bags and experiences and different things on a monetary level that you cannot compete with. That's where her mind is at now. The women of these streets are trying to get everything and anything that they can. Now, ladies, I know you're watching. Cool, beautiful. Watch this with your man. Let him know. You'll be able to say it better to him than I could. Oh, you think it's going to be good out there? These houses. Go ahead. We know how you talk. Tell him. Because I'm telling him, show this to your man. From a man in the street right now, you gentlemen, you cannot compete. You don't want none of this. You ain't got it like that. You don't have the money. You just don't. Can you provide certain experiences that can rival men who can have women on yachts? Can you provide certain experiences where he's taking her from this beach house to this penthouse suite where they're having dinner and stuff? By the way, these are not made up stories. These are things that I've had to compete with, and I had to step my game up. When I came out here, when I was 18, and the game was way different, such a higher level. And that was years ago, let alone now. Are you kidding me? It's like everybody on the planet has the LA experience. Now, I'm talking from a Western perspective, of course. So if you live in a place that speaks English, this is probably what you're going to have to deal with as a man. Just understand this. This is the game, which is why you need to stay your ass in the relationship that you're in. Number 1, you got no edge. You're too nice. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, that seems mad simple. How is that the worst thing about me? How does that beat the other two? I'm going to tell you like this. If you had this one, the other two don't matter. A dude with an edge can take a billionaire's woman. I'm going to repeat that for the cats in the back who ain't paying attention. A cat with edge, bad boy energy, can snatch a billionaire's girl. Think I'm playing. Every time you hear a billionaire got cheated on or a millionaire got cheated on, a rich dude had his wife cheat on him. Is she doing it with another millionaire? Is she leaving him or getting used by someone who has money? Nah, homie. She did it with the pool boy. She did it with her Pilates instructor. She did it with somebody who either stays in the gym or basically treats her like all kinds of player pimp kind of ways. Ways that have her bent over and put in her positions. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to deal with that. So stay your ass in a relationship. Now I know I keep saying this about staying in the relationship. You might be thinking, well, it's not really my choice. I can't do anything about it. So the first thing is, if you're the one trying to leave, yeah, you can do something about that. Are you leaving for a real reason? Are you trying to bounce because is she hitting you? Is she cheating on you? Is she doing anything to the kids? Is it one of these three? If it ain't something about that, or is she just straight evil? If she's just trying mentally, emotionally, just beating you up, that one I can get down with. I understand. And in case you ladies are wondering, like, well, you didn't say that for the ladies edition. Ladies, you gotta get it, okay? Your man might not admit this. Your man might not even know this. But emotionally, that's where we're weaker than you. You're physically weaker than us. We are emotionally weaker than you. We can't take emotional hits the way that we can take physical hits. Just like you can't take physical hits the way that you can take emotional hits. There'll be a whole video about this. We ain't gonna get into details, but the fact is, if a man's being slapped up on an emotional level, homie, I get it. But it is gonna be much easier for you to try to make that work than be out in these streets. It's not going to be emotionally safe for you. This is the land of hoes. So that's if you leave. But if you get left, you do have something you can do about it. I implore you, watch these videos. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm dropping gold bars of knowledge on y'all cat. Things that people pay me very well to do on an individual basis, y'all getting for the price of a motherfucking thumb, alright? And what I want you to understand, gentlemen, is that it's not a bad thing being a nice man, being a good man. All of these are good, but being in that relationship mode, in that nice man mode, in that good man mode, these are the kinds of things and skills and habits you have because you've been in a relationship for years, that they're not things that get women. They're not even necessarily things that keep women. They're things that women who are good women in good relationships, they deserve that. But if you don't have the edge is for acquisition and retention. It helps you in both. But the edge is absolutely necessary in order to get another person. And the biggest thing you got to contend with, gentlemen, is that the women in these streets, not only are they used to edge, they're looking for edge, and if you're trying to get a woman who just got out of a relationship herself within the first 2-3 years, she's gonna be tired of men like you. Dudes who she sees as boring. Cats who she sees as, oh, he's so nice, he's so soft. You can't be soft. It's not our currency. And it's not like you can't ever be nice or ever. You just got to know how to do it. Now, don't worry. This is Balance of Power. I got you. We have a video coming about how to create the edge. But I just want to let you know that you being nice is probably why you got left in the first place. It's probably why, if you did get kicked to the curb, why your woman is out there trying to look for a dude who operates like a pimp, like a player, like an F-boy. Because he's not you. He's treating her with some sharpness. He's treating her with a little bit of pushback, a little bit of disrespect, a little bit of spice to it. You've been too nice to the point where she feels like, it's old hat. And so if you encounter other women who are just like the woman who left you, that's going to be a problem. If you encounter other women who are just used to men treating her like that in the street, that's also going to be a problem. Do not listen to these women telling you that they're looking for a nice guy. That's not what they're looking for. And ladies, if you're watching, I'm going to tell you straight to your face too. You ain't looking for a nice dude. Nah, you are looking for a dude with an edge who has the ability to be nice. That's different than a man who is nice. Now, my gentlemen, my dudes, you probably understand what I mean by that. Ladies, that might be a foreign concept to you. But there's a difference of being treated. If a man in his head's going, nah, I got edge, occasionally I'll smile at you. Maybe I might give you a little something something. Versus a cat that'll give you all kinds of information and help the moment you tell him you want to do something. The moment he hears what you say you want, he starts thinking about ways to give it to you. He starts thinking about, well, let me give her this information. Let me help her out in this way, because he's built and geared towards making you happy, towards putting a smile on your face. So he's going to start giving you options. So if you say something like, oh, I want to become a Pilates instructor, he starts going, oh, well, I have a friend who does that. I can have you have a meeting with this person. Oh, by the way, I know this studio space over here, and if you got any questions, you can hit me up. I know about business. That's what he's gonna do, ladies. And I know ideally you might think, oh, that's amazing, but you will take all of that from him and put his ass in the friend zone. You will take all his information for sure. You'll take the meetings, you'll take the benefits, and you will have him be your best guy friend. And gentlemen, that will be you. You will be relegated to the friend mother zone. Is that where you want to be? Or are you trying to be up in them drawers? Now, I'm not trying to be crude. Like I said, this is going to be a cold video. But gentlemen, I got to be honest with you. I'm not doing my job unless I'm telling you the truth. Like I said, there's going to be a video that explains how to do this. How to have your edge. How to keep your edge. But there's a lot already in here. Click on the videos. You see what I say in the end? And one last thing. Just in case you might be thinking, well, that's not true. That's not how all women are. That's not what... You're right. It's not how all women are. But there are two things that you got to understand about these streets that you don't understand about these streets, apparently. Number one, even unattractive women have these standards. Unattractive women want NBA players. And they have had experiences with NBA players. Now I'm saying, because you know what it is. You know the rule of man. You know that a starving man will eat moldy bread. It don't matter what she look like if he's just trying to get it in. You know this. And number two, the good women. The ones who are actually wife material. The ones you actually want. You're not going to be able to find them. They stay invisible. They're not on these streets. They're not on the internet. They're barely on social media. You won't be able to find them unless you go to specific spots, specific places at specific times. And again, that's a whole other video as to where to find actual wife quality women, but they're not going to be where you're looking. They aren't out there like that. And even if they are, this is the thing. Society got the game all twisted up so that women who are wife quality will have certain guards up and tests and fiery holes you gotta jump through in order for you to prove that you ain't a hoe. Because again, they know these streets is full of hoes. And it makes sense, as she should. Women should be having their guards up in certain areas and be testing men. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point is, gentlemen, that's going to be the rarity. That's going to be hard to find. That's some leprechaun stuff right there. The quality, how should I say this? The quantity of quality women is not only lower, and it's not like other women are quality, it's just they're not wife quality. They're not with you who's in a relationship, looking for relationship type stuff. If you got left, you're not ready for these hoes. And the way society has gone, a lot more women are living their best life. A lot more women are doing the... So, you can find one, it's going to be very difficult. So gentlemen, to sum this all up, the women in these streets want the mark of the beast. 6 feet tall, 6-inch dong, salary 6 figures strong. If that ain't you, stay your ass in a relationship. Do what you need to do to make your relationship work. You don't want to be in these streets. You don't want none of it. This competition, how it goes, you don't want this.
I've seen this. I've done this. You don't want this.
And I know, I've already said it, gentlemen. I get it. If you're like, I don't know how to do it, I don't know what to figure out, we got you. It's balance of power, duh. There's video on video on video on how to make your person happy, how to keep them in the game. Alright? And I know, it's going to be difficult. It's not the same as when you first got this person. Because as you know, acquisition is elementary. Retention is hard. Now that's the end of today's lesson. Now, just like other lessons, today's lesson is mostly free, but you got to pay a small fee in the form of a thumb. Whether up or down, doesn't matter as long as you let a brother know whether you love it or hate it. Like I said, we're a new channel, so make sure you throw thumbs. Now you know you love these lessons. Now who else is going to tell you the ins and outs of how men and women think and how to make sure this thing called a relationship keeps popping? Nobody. Well, other people could try, but you know the best is right here. So you ain't gonna go nowhere.
Where you going? Nowhere.
So come on back and click on another video. Until next time, though. Deuce, deuce.